I think it's important to go to all of as many shows as you can just to get the experience of the different varieties of shows. There are going to be some that are a lot have a huge production value, like have a lot of things going on, have a ton of like have big casts, and then there are other plays that are also solo pieces that are going to be more small and intimate. And I think having like that wealth of choices is what makes Fringe so exciting.
Yeah, and I think another thing that makes an event like Fringe really different is that it brings together a group of productions that don't necessarily have a lot to do with each other, thematically or subject matter wise. It brings together a group of performers and directors and producers and technicians of vastly different backgrounds, telling all kinds of different stories. But I think the common thread among them is a sort of personal. Each one has a very personal vision and is personally important to the people who are making it. There's no corporate imperatives driving the storytelling or franchise extension or anything like that. It's just a group of people telling stories that they think are really important to tell, and I think it can be really beneficial to people to see as many of those as they can.
I think people should go to Fringe, or if they've never gone to Fringe, go to Fringe for the first time, because it is kind of like a mini renaissance that's happening. It's more theater in a short period of time than the rest of the year, at least for most people. And yeah, you get to see this very current reflection of how people are expressing themselves through theater that you can't really get anywhere else. Hi, my name is Paul Roberson. I'm with Andrew Loviska and Genah Redding. If you'd like to learn more about our production, please listen to this conversation.
Well, the title is Thom Pain. So it's been funny sort of trying to come up with the copy to use for the various websites and promotions and stuff, trying to figure out how to synopsize what happens in this piece, because it's a very interior piece in a lot of ways. The character is mostly sort of describing things that are going on inside himself rather than a sort of external plot. So figuring out how to sort of communicate and tease that to other people has been a bit of a challenge. The things I sort of latch onto are that he's feeling sort of isolated and kind of stuck in place in his life, and he's trying to work through that. And that's, for me, that's what really made it resonate with this particular moment in history, and what made me think that it would be a good thing to do now, is just because I feel like I know that I have, and I'm sure a lot of other people have felt very similarly over the past year. And one of my great joys in doing theater and doing older scripts and repertory works is finding those places where somebody wrote 10 or 50 or 200 years ago really resonates with what's going on today.
Yeah, I think I responded to this play because I think anybody who struggles with making sense of the things that have happened to them, that's always really personal, depending on, it doesn't matter whether you specifically have something that happened to you that you relate to, and making sense of that, and trying to connect with people even though it might feel hard. I think that was a really that's what I connected to with the script. What do I want the audience to get out of this play? I guess I want people to feel connected. There's I think, again, like I said, if the things that have happened to you, that's what makes you a person. We're all in this together, basically. That's kind of that's what I want people to get out of it.
I think the thing I want people to get out of this is is self-reflection. I think the play in itself is about self-reflection, about that there's these things that happen in your life that do kind of feel unique to you, but are unique to you, but are also commonalities in everyone's lives. And I think questioning, and they feel very strongly, but maybe questioning what these events actually are, and how they have actually affected you.
To me, one of the most important, if not the most important theme of this piece is sort of learning to forgive yourself for mistakes you've made in the past, and learning to move on in a positive way without denying those mistakes, without pretending they didn't happen, but having the sort of compassion both for yourself and others to be able to continue living and continue improving despite them. And so that's mainly what I hope an audience would take away from it, is to understand that it's okay to have made mistakes, and it's okay to forgive yourself for them and try to move forward.
I think people should come to see our show at the Hollywood Fringe Festival, because I think we've crafted a really great experience for people to have. I mean, first of all, to have the experience of going to a theatrical show again is something that if you haven't done yet, you have to do again, because it's a core part of our lives. Anyone who loves theater that we've been without for a long time. But I think our show is something that I hope everyone gets to experience and gets to, on some level, be changed by.
To add to that, I think, or at least I hope, we've sort of crafted an experience that feels sort of small and intimate and manageable for people who, you know, haven't been to a lot of shows recently, we're not like throwing a lot of big spectacle in your face, but I think it is an experience that is really beneficial to have live if you can.
Yeah, I think people should come to this show because, you know, it's been a tough year, and, you know, we've all been kind of stuck at home, not being able to enjoy theater. You know, there have been some things online, you know, but there's nothing quite like just being, you know, about less than 10 feet away from somebody who, you know, and having that experience in real life.
The thing I'm looking most forward to seeing is actual other human faces, because the entire time we've been working on this show has basically been me sitting in my spare bedroom / studio, which is actually where I am right now, sort of trying to perform for a bank of cameras against the wall. And that's, you know, with enough practice, that's something that I can do, but to really get that real feedback from somebody who's sitting in the same space listening, I think is going to add just a lot, a whole other dimension to the piece. And I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but I'm very excited to find out.
This production really started in quarantine and was designed to be originally performed, you know, in quarantine in Andrew's apartment with me assisting, and so that people could get this kind of theatrical experience at home. You know, we had a whole bunch of cameras in that room to replicate what it was like to be in what it would be like to be in the audience, and we're going to try to preserve that with our Fringe run as well, so that people don't feel left out of this of having that experience again.
Re-emphasize how excited I am to be able to present this sort of history of our minds over the last year, and actually be able to do it live, which none of us knew if we could do when we started working on it. So I really hope that other people find as much meaning in it as we have.
Yeah, and I'm also excited with having this hybrid element. There are people that we are all very close to that have moved out of state, that aren't local anymore, that will be able to still share this with them, and with, you know, anybody really. That is an exciting thing that, you know, we haven't, you know, that's never really been done before. So that's really exciting for me.
If you enjoyed this conversation and would like to see Thom Pain, Based on Nothing, live at Hollywood Fringe or streaming on your television, please check out the HollywoodFringe.org website. Come to as many shows as you possibly can. And please, please, please support your local independent theater community.